Our company has been okay, that are generated using facial making, and a lot of questions have been written like have been about the so basically there are so exuberant formal policies and possibilities from available tools. So we have so many tools now, so many beautiful objects that Scribe is pretty good at. But to be honest, there are not many solutions for making complex geometry. A lot of people are researching, of course, but so before we had the HoloLens available, most of the digital research was for robotics, modular robotics, for CNC, 3D printing. So I kind of started to look to the ways to use and the possibilities of different material systems to be able to execute complex geometry in using meaningful and to arrange and assemble the material as follows the behavior. So, for example, as an example, everybody is really art is not very good in editing. Plastic is very strong in fetch, but that's why every 3D is done now, and the way that adding is for the benefit of the digital process. In order to make the process easy, that's why it's done like that. It's not nice for plastic. Plastic doesn't do it. The plastic is not happy. It added like that. It's not a necessary for that material. Of course, plastic is very flexible. That's why you handle it. But not many other materials do that. And normally, a lot of 3D printing process or robotic printing research are really about simplifying. So, in order to accommodate digital information, robot only. That's why we have to dumb down so much. But what if you want to weave something? You want to make it back? You want to roll something? There are lots of complex processes are still out there and already explored by mankind for a number of years, but they're still not very applicable for robotic processes. That's why still, if you see robot-made buildings, they are only social. But there are so many other possibilities that are unexplored. But we are not interested in robotics. We are really focusing on the material itself first. And instead of having or designing or making something for the sake of using robots, or using certain process. We look at certain virality and processes, and really look into the procedure of how things are made. And if some process can be dumbed down, that we can let instruct the robot to do it, we'll do that. Yeah. But that's why it's much more flexible. Start thinking about it by looking at material and the making process. That's the idea of augmented architect. I'm not going to post too much, but this is like my old lecture. I always say that this author who wrote the book on augmentation is arguing that we have already entered augmented age that announces that we are already a cyborg. We are already not just natural human. Our knowledge is actually relying on our cell phone. But we are already, you are using this smartwatch. We have a lot of devices, and we are relying on not only the physical body, but extended with our devices. So we are augmented. Yeah? So what do we do to create our next environment as an augmented human? That's something that I'm interested in. And thanks to the commercialization of HoloLens, we could only buy around 1,000 from. Before that, HoloLens was not really released or very expensive or only released for developers. So the history of this device is not that long, but actually a lot of people are AR is specifically talking about the devices that have clear physical vision. That is augmented reality. VR doesn't not wear a goggle or VR goggle. Yeah, very dangerous. Yeah, but AR is okay. AR has clear vision. It overlays digital models into your physical reality. So we have a lot of warehouse setup. They also talk a lot about construction, BIM management. But what we are here to explore as a designer and as a school like SCI-Arc, so for example, this art I thought is really interesting because we don't have this brush. We will never have this kind of geometry outcome or aesthetic. That's why I'm saying the newly evolved aesthetics based on that. So these are those application research that has been heavily developed over the last 20-something years in these really good working on with all those for very much developed and focused and have a lot of money there, but they are based on machining processes, or so it accommodate typical 3D printed stuff. These are typical assembled things. When you assemble things, you have to dump this stuff to single material. So that's what I was kind of provoking. So what do you do with these kind of then it is not digital process or digital design, or is it not computational? No, they are. Just they're not robotic. And there are so many other possibilities that we can explore to accommodate and bridge those computational aesthetics that is newly evolving into this world of interesting materials. So this is one of the projects that our students designed in Backgroun. And while this one is done by Benjamin Meyer in 2017, something like that, which was the, I think, the very first large, the largest building element. Their aesthetics are kind of very baroque and kind of has similar kind of aesthetic qualities, but the last one is very exclusive and very expensive. Yeah, and it's only for selected type of the right one where we developed with the students. They made this one prototype with Hahm and bed by looking at the digital model. The digital model is generally they developed this kind of prototype. So using balloon as a model, we then have to make a woven pattern. So this kind of prototype is something that I last week. It's quite something. And then that kind of thing can go into basically some kind of coding or simulation with generative or whatever you guys are doing. That will kind of do a little bit of designing for procedures to translate generative pattern into manageable geometry, forward to AR, and you produce as one for the if you want, you can also speculate larger application in larger population of these elements into a larger building. And I normally in lectures I don't show this because it's too long, but I think I want to show this in class because this is kind of a 5-minute edited version of around 5 years of work on a lot of projects from what's called Research Cluster 6. Now their lab is called Material Architecture Lab in Bartlett. I was used to be part of the teaching team and to explore the model make. So, for example, these are welding using six fabrics, sewing, flexible sponge tube to become harder, very precise concrete. So this one was kind of unique using feathering process. We will see it. And a lot like this kind of dynamic diagram are to be true. So we are happy. So it's something like that. I don't know if you see the feather fiber in the middle of it, a lot of it become harder and harder. People use it to make dolls. This one is exploring the resin code. normally used for vehicle to protect cars or protect ships, and we graded. So a lot of projects you see here, how you use soft materials to mold them into something and then harden it up. And having some kind of mixture of hard material to soft. This one is kind of interesting. It's kind of a previous of the fabric project that I showed you earlier. This was using kind of membrane stock. What do you call it? Sawdust. And then you soak it inside wood glue for a long time. It kind of becomes synthetic MDF. You know, MDF is a pressed sawdust as a panel. But that's why that project was fun. One was about carving. Okay, so this is something. So this is clay. It's one of some of you are interested in exploring clay. I really love clay. You can shape it into any geometry and you fire it, it becomes super shiny. So similar as the sawdust project, but much more lightweight. But for this one, we probably they don't stand up by itself. So that's why we don't believe 4 or 5. We are also interested in exploring materials. Was about electric plate and overplate. This one was in hydrogen, you know. It would be great if you guys. Yeah. Okay. So there are so many. At those days, before we had all of the they were so so after we have AR, we suddenly have more high the generation. More close. And that program is much easier for us using final model direct overland. And really thinking about the labor. So before it was like, yeah, we always look at global labor, but and going further, how do we integrate it? What's our goal and the ecology and that we live together with machines? Yeah. That's why we want to reality, developing cost to showcase modules. We want to come give us a lecture and a tutorial. One session for the thing. Especially he's now after his project in Bartlett, he went to University of Liverpool, and he dive into search to integrate what. Or some things, education, process, video. It's just one. Not have to do all of it. So this one was yes, calculating right now, and whatever you make changes, the change and use of this. And also using this is big company. So if anybody is big company, they made a modular small, so they can assemble different types of components using same cluster nodes. Both modules also have their kind of QR code kind of thing, but integrated in their design. So you see that like mine, they are their labels, but the labels are not like ugly QR code or lines. So all of those elements are part of the design. There's this project using plastic. So this was a provocation to plastic 3D print. So they managed to make us very stretched thermal using thermal plastic stretching process, creating that kind of circular intertwined module. They're like so interconnected, that's why they really cannot be done in robot, or it could have been very difficult to calibrate robot to do that. But it was really strong. They made it huge piece with like this. So they made this one and also any other way other than. And if you 3D print that, it's most important that you cannot do that. This one they developed, but not metal welding, but they developed this thing method that is coming from the old tradition ironwork. When you go to Europe, they have a lot of like fences. They're made out of really nice pieces. It's inspired by that. And all of those. So they could branch out to accommodate the curvature and their complex. And so this was a kind of reaction to that 3D switch by Ursula. So that was that unit, and then I came to fire. I mean, everybody joined from their home. They made their own hair from their home. So we had to find a way, or we they were really open. They are local, so everybody. But still back and right. Well, we had a workshop, station at home for October. Okay, so that's it. And then moving further, we are really interested in workshop that I see the young people. So well, actually, this is I was recording this with my phone or my laptop when he was over Zoom. He was actually making my phone. So that's kind of a remote kind of putting over search. So there are lots of issues and things that are unexplored yet. There are untapped communication issues with construction and integration of more human and critical robots. All those are some issues that your generation should be aware of. At least you know what's going on, what's missing, hopefully shape your looking at that. Okay. So I'm going to introduce so yeah, take a breath and diving tutorial. So I guess I'm not going to share too much about what channel, but it is just my general way. In my case, I use it more like a way to generate forms that is uninfected or not able by human. For example, old school buildings like Frank Gehry, yeah, they were really realizing maybe sketch and vision on purpose. Yeah. But what I'm interested in is what is the maximum use of and I have this computer, how do I maximize the use of it? Yeah. And I don't, you know, most of the time we are really amazed by those settings. But and they are very inspiring. A lot of my work. So when I do I'm not a good designer. I don't know how to sketch. So I just oh, this one. I go, then maybe my designing methodology maybe is what I want to share. Whether you like it or not. That's why I think I got going development. For example, that's it. You know? Actually, we did it in the beginning. I did it and made it. So it's really open. So if you know already whatever simulation software you use, you just do our best. So, try to use that you are using that will be more close. Right. I want to do I know that let's for the computer shape. Start with sorry. Okay, so we're going to try something. I think I have we have final step has changed a little bit of the thing, so I might scroll a little bit. Okay, but we are going to use these two tools today to generate these ones. It's really cool. How many of you are familiar with this software? Really? Okay. Great. How many of you don't know at all? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
I've used it, but
Yeah. I think half of us because okay, so I'm gonna close everything.